You got to learn how to believe in yourself before other people believe in you. I decided to make content 2 years ago. I started with my channel, The Kent Bailey Method. It was just about me talking about my dating experiences and helping young men who have a lack of social experience to hopefully develop themselves to the point where they don't need advice anymore. You know, I spent 20 years of my life pretty much isolated. As a kid, all I wanted to do was just go on the computer and play video games and build my online community of Discord, And that was my primary focus until I graduated high school. And then my parents were like, "What are you going to do?" I decided I wanted to go to college. So I went to college for a year. After me going to college for a year, I decided the environment I was in wasn't what I thought college was going to be. I was like, okay, it's going to be a bunch of like fun social environment stuff. It was going to be really cool. But I didn't really care about high school at the time. So I didn't get into the party school. So the environment that I got into was a liberal arts school, and it was really tame compared to everybody else that I was seeing going to different colleges, like down in California, in Florida, in Arizona, and New York. So after a year of me doing that, I decided, you know what, this is not for me. I stopped going. And my parents were saying, okay, well, will you eventually go in a year after you save money and then start funding your classes? And I lied to them. I said, yeah, I will. Mom and dad, I will save up and then eventually go back to college. But in the process of me doing that, that was in the beginning stage, year one of me deciding to do content. I went through a bad breakup with this girl at the time, and she was the first actual girlfriend that I had. I haven't had a real relationship my entire life, 20 years. The only relationship I've ever had was a long distance video game relationship with this girl who lived across the country. And so this was like a big deal for me. I was like, wow, that hurt, And so for me to transform that was to help other people. And then in the process of that, I kept posting and I wasn't getting traction. And at this point, I was asking myself, I'm like, what am I even doing, bro? Like I stopped pursuing college to put hopes into this. And I have people asking me in my family say, hey, what do you plan on doing with your life? Like you can't just keep working at these jobs around the city. You have to build something, what are you going to do? And that question brings a lot of anxiety. And I was fucking feeling that with all the negative thoughts about that, about their questioning of how I'm going to position myself and where my life is headed. And honestly, that made me doubt myself even more, even with seeing the videos not having traction. But what kept me going was having a mental picture with, I'm telling you, only 159 followers, a mental picture of me having a community, me having people that are telling me that I've helped them, and I'm just seeing fruition from my labor into creating something with no visible results in reality. This is just a mental framework that I held on to as hope. I held on to that hope while people around me, I'm getting really excited about it. I start telling my family members, yeah, I'm making videos and this and this and that. And you get this face from your loved ones when they're worried about you. It's like they love you so much, but they're afraid of what's happening to you. And they can't really say it. And so the only way that they can address those feelings towards you is asking you, what are you going to do to live? Like, how are you going to survive in this world, And I felt that from all angles, from my parents, my brothers, and I just fell into this type of mindset of being like, okay, it's me versus me, okay? I have to do this, and so eventually there will be results from it. I keep posting constantly. while I'm working my job. I even find times in between the hours of me working just to make short videos for me to talk to an audience and give my mind and advice and testimonies of what I've been through and how you guys can utilize it to move forward. Months go by. Eventually, I get 1 million views telling young men to not let the internet trick them into hating women. I didn't want people to absorb all the negative information about, gender wars and different dynamics, hypergamy, things of that nature, and being frustrated about it. Don't let the frustration stop you from progressing with what you really desire. During this time, I got into psychology, Carl Jung, and he talks about how your desires shape your subconscious, and that anger of missing something in life, missing a component of love and intimacy, was something that I had for the longest time. And once I was able to break out of that, I knew that was freedom for a lot of guys. And I knew that a lot of people like me were out there because I was seeing all the content, I was seeing all the people in these comment sections and all these videos that are abrasive. And so I make a speech talking to them specifically. I'm talking to the men who are affected, and people who aren't even affected by that saw that message and they're impacted by it and boosted it up to 1 million. And for once, the hope that I had that wasn't attached to reality finally was seen in front of my face on my screen. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I can't believe this. I go into work a couple weeks later and somebody says, hey bro, I couldn't even believe it, but I saw your face on my phone, bro. I was on TikTok and I was scrolling through and I saw your video. That momentum that I got from that video died off because I stopped posting and I was afraid. I was like, wait, I'm trying to make music. I'm blowing up as a person who's trying to help other people. How does that match up with me being a rapper? That seems contradictory to me. But I realized this was something that was actually actionable and it was bigger than what I thought. I continued to keep posting. After that, I took so long with me going back and forth in my head about, wait, I don't even know if this aligns with what I want to do. I lost all traction, bro. I was back to 200 views per video. But the fact that I even touched that high, the fact that I was even recognized for the things that I said, I knew that I had an actionable vision. I kept posting 200 views, 300 views, 400 views. And this was in the span of months, bro. It's not like those views steadily went higher fast. It took a while to build consistency. And eventually, I hit 1,000 followers. After I hit 1,000 followers, it slows down. I start telling my family, I'm like, hey guys, I'm actually getting fans. I'm actually building something. And still they hit me with that worried look, like, Kent, that's good, but what are you going to do? And I realized it is only on you for you to pursue what you see as possible. When you connect people that you care about and people who are in your life into plans that you have, friction comes into mind. And when that happens, you're faced with their own judgments and how much you care about them. You have to choose yourself in these moments because that's when it really counts. Your own belief pushes you to exactly where you need to be. I wouldn't have been able to impact the amount of people I've been able to impact if I decided to keep my mouth shut and follow what my people around me want me to do. I wouldn't be able to fully realize the thoughts that I wanted to put onto the world if I decided to just listen to the people feeding me what I should do. You have to go against anything, okay? It's hard. It's so hard, bro. It's a brutal process mentally and spiritually, honestly. Because if you're religious, you're asking, well, why is it so hard for me? Like, I know I have a purpose. Why is it taking so much effort for me to fully put something into place, you know? But that's life. And now I'm sitting at 1,600 followers with great fans and great people who constantly reach out to me. And I've been able to have the liberty of being connected with people who are bigger than me, who respect the things that I put onto the internet. And so if I can do it, you can, okay? I know 1,000 is not a lot. Of course it isn't. I'm still growing. But if you can hold on just a little bit, man, just a little bit, and see things through, trust yourself, put in the work, and when that time hits you of doubt, look at yourself and say, I got this. I wish you guys the best of luck. I'm out.